and welcome to another episode of Catching Up. I'm your host, Lauren Kalil. Our show is brought to you by Reebok. The Nano X2, the official shoe of fitness, was created with the training community front and center, gathering feedback from its athlete partners, local gyms, fitness influencers, and more to create a product that all athletes can thrive in. The white and gum bottom, I think that they are the perfect fresh new summer shoe. Make sure to check out the link in our description to get your hands on a pair. On today's episode, we have five-time CrossFit Games athlete Amanda Barnhart. We're getting close, headed to Madison. Are you excited? Are you packed? Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, I am beyond excited. I am not packed. I told myself I was going to pack last weekend and that didn't happen. But honestly, like stuff's just kind of getting like piled up everywhere. And I'm like feeling like I'm getting a little bit more organized and you don't have to bring too much clothes because we have to wear the noble clothes. So all my shoes, all my Reebok shoes are getting laid out. Trying to choose which ones to bring is very stressful. But yeah, I'm getting really excited.
And I also want to say happy belated birthday. You just turned 31. Do
31. Yeah, thank you.
do you
Feeling
ever do
old.
anything to I know it's like once you get past 30, it's like, "Oh my god, I can't
Can I
believe that
just
we're
stop
here."
having birthdays? Yeah.
Right, I feel like after 21, you don't really, like,
You don't
need to
really care.
celebrate anymore. Yeah, like, maybe some cake and ice cream, and if
I
people
feel
wanna
like
give
too,
gifts.
you kind of forget how old you are. Like I feel like I'm always like, wait, what year is it again? Like how old am I? Because you just feel the same.
Yeah, so your body does feel the same?
For the most part. I mean, I definitely don't recover like I used to, but I think honestly it's a good thing because it's taught me to listen to my body more. Because when you're younger, you can just get away with murder and like your body recovers and you're fine. But now I can't. So I'm forced to listen to it and like optimize my training more because I'm older. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I remember when I started CrossFit in my, like, early to mid-20s, and I would not warm up, I would do, like, 3 to 4 wads a day, like, someone would be like, "Hey, you wanna go for, like, a 1 RM of the deadlift, and then a 1 RM on the back squat, and then
Mhm.
go for a 5-mile run?" And it's like, "Yeah, we're
Yeah,
warm, we're ready." But now, no,
I
no,
know.
thank you.
Warm-ups
Do
warm-ups are
you
your best friend.
Yes, after I would say, like, 28, then you start to get smarter about the warm up.
For sure.
Do you ever celebrate your birthday at all before? Because it obviously falls right before the games, or do you save all the celebrating for after the games?
I kind of just treat it as like pretty normal. Like obviously I'm not going out and like drinking a bunch of alcohol and like being wild, but yeah, my husband and I went to dinner, got some tacos. He made me a cake.
Nice.
I had a piece of cake, like, and then kind of went about normal life afterwards. But I also think that's another part of getting older. Like when I first started competing, I was so strict, didn't celebrate my birthday at all. And now I'm
Mhm.
just kind of realizing that balance is okay. It actually ends up making me better because, you're just living a normal life and training really hard. So, yeah, I
Sure.
didn't change much. Enjoyed my birthday and it was nice.
Good. Well, again, happy belated birthday. It seems like games training is going well, but what I really love when I was looking at your Instagram post, I'll pull it up really quick. I love how authentic you are and you're just honest about the emotions and how training is really going. So tell me how it's going and then talk a little bit about this picture and, the inspiration that came from it.
Mhm. Well, so I guess like right after Granite Games, like anyone will tell you, right after you compete, you feel terrible for a couple of weeks. You're like, oh my gosh, how was I ever fit? And then you
Mhm.
get past that point and you start getting in the meat of games training. And I felt like it was going so good. I had probably 2 weeks straight that I honestly felt amazing. And that is a long time for if anyone's being truly honest to like really feel good. So I was getting pumped. I had a week that was okay after that. And then last weekend when I made this post, I had a really good training day on Friday and then went into the gym Saturday and I thought I felt okay, which is always the most dangerous part. And then I start like warming up and I'm like, I don't really want to be here, which is usually a sign for me. Like if I don't want to be in the gym, it's usually my body being like, hey, maybe you need a break. But of
Mhm.
course, like any athlete, I ignore that and try to get through my training. And I'm just like in the workout and it's a slug fest. And I'm like, it should not feel like this. Like maybe I should just
Mm,
like call the day. So I ended up, talking to Ben and being like, I think I need a break. Like, just this is the time to do it because we were starting to taper, but not quite. So
okay.
yeah, I went home the rest of the afternoon, ate a bunch of food, and woke up the next day feeling worse, actually. So that was why I made the post because I was just like, woke up with a zit and I was feeling fluffy and just so
Mhm.
tired. And, my period was coming. It was just like a typical girl thing. And of course, it's a week and a half out from the game. So I'm like, oh, this isn't ideal. But I do think it's important to be honest and vulnerable on Instagram. I think a lot of times athletes especially are just like, "Oh, I'm grinding through my workouts." I'm, very superficial post, and I am definitely a culprit of doing that from time to time because it's just easier. It's not easy to be vulnerable and to write a long post and share with what you're actually going through, but I really do try to do that from time to time. So, yeah, I was just having one of those girl days on Sunday, and I decided to share with the world, but I bounced back pretty quickly and had a few good days of training before we really started our taper yesterday. So, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I hope that most people appreciate the brutal honesty that I like to share from time to time.
Yes. I love it because so many athletes, they don't wanna show their hand. They don't wanna show
Mhm.
if they're suffering with any injuries or maybe just having a bad training day, but this post, I feel like, spoke to so many people, whether you are a games athlete, maybe it kinda gave them an idea like, "Hey, I'm not the only one feeling this way," or just your everyday gym goers like myself, and I'm like, "You know what? She's speaking to my spirit self today because everything is going wrong," but I
Yep.
just I loved the post, especially when you're talking about the zits, the bug bite even. It's just like,
Yeah, I was like, "What
what
is
the
this?"
heck?
I have a huge bug bite on my stomach. I was like so repulsed.
It's like, what is that? What is going on?
Add it to
But
the
so tr
list of things that are going wrong today.
right. Just sometimes it's how it be.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Speaking of Granite Games though, oh my gosh, it ultimately paid off how consistent you were taking 2nd place. What was the mindset going into it? Were you trying to get on the podium? Tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, the mindset going into it was number one, qualify to the CrossFit Games. Number two, let's try to be consistent. Like I have a tendency to have some really good finishes and then some that are outside the top. Obviously, it's tougher when the field is a little bit smaller, so it's only giving you a little bit of comparison. But that was the goal, qualify to the CrossFit Games, see where we're at with my running and upper body pulling, the stuff that we've put a ton of time into, and we know that has gotten a lot better this year. And then just try to
Mhm.
execute and stay calm. I compete my best when I'm calm, not necessarily one of those people that like I have to be having fun or I have to be super serious. I'm kind of like the in between, like just need to be calm. I can't be super stressed out, can't be freaking out about things I can't control. And I feel like I did a really good job of that over the weekend. And I think you could ask most athletes, semifinals is by far more stressful than the game. So getting through a super high stress weekend like that and staying calm throughout it all was the biggest win for me.
So no surprise that the barbell complex was your top finish, but out of the workouts at semifinals, first part of the question is which were you most proud of? And then the second part is do you think that semifinals tests are in fact a good prep for games?
Um, I'm probably most proud of the running workout on Sunday morning. We've done a lot of running this year, kind of in a different way. Like I always run a lot, but this year we've just made it very specific running, and I felt
Mhm.
really good running in that workout for the first time, probably ever competing. That I felt really good running, and that was an amazing feeling. So I was really proud of that workout. Um, as for preparation for the games, I think that semis are just a different beast. Like it is just totally different. It's a good step to, choose the fittest and get us to the next round. But as the training changes, I'm just like, man, this is the stuff I love. Like preparing for the games, those type of workouts is just so much more what I'm good at and what I enjoy. So I feel like as the training changed, I was like, oh gosh, I've missed this stuff because up to quarters and semis is, not so much Amanda friendly stuff. So it's not as fun for me.
So you have more fun at the games?
Oh yeah, way more fun training for the games
Okay.
and competing at the games. I think that, the games is stressful, but there's not enough time to be stressed. Like you're always going
Mm.
from we're so busy. We don't know the workouts till right before, which I love. You don't have time to sit there and marinate and freak out about it. So you're just less stressed. There is high pressure and you want to perform and you need to perform, but it is different because the stakes at semis are there's 6 workouts. You can't make a big mistake or you may not go to the games. So it's just a totally different feel.
Okay, so for the past 3 years of the games, you had top 10 finishes. In our morning chalk up power rankings, you averaged out to be a 6th place finish. That's 4 places up from last year. I'm just curious if you're somebody that, like, is exposed to, what sports analysts are saying, if you even care, like, how they're putting you in their power rankings, or if you just kind of put blinders on and block that kind of stuff out.
I don't like hyper pay attention to it. I definitely see it. It doesn't really like if someone ranks me poorly, I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, gonna prove them wrong. But it doesn't like I don't like stay up late at night worrying about what people are saying about me because you know that everyone just has their opinions and their reasons, and I know it's never personal. It's never like, oh, we don't like Amanda Barnhart. It's just the
Yeah.
reality of their opinion. So I don't look into it too deeply. That's cool to know that I averaged to sixth. That's exciting. I do feel as if I'm ready for my best season yet. I can confidently say that if things go according to plan, I'm definitely fitter and ready to fight this year. So,
Yeah, so 6th, in the average, and I know people are gonna go in the comment section and call me out. I put you 9th, Amanda, but it's because I
that's okay.
want you to prove me wrong.
That's okay. No hate, Lauren.
No hate, no hate. Man, it's just like with those things, and again, I don't claim to be a sports analyst. More, it was just like, okay, this is my first time doing it. Let's see. But knowing that the competition is getting more stacked each year,
Mhm.
there's so many young rookies that have aged up. They're coming into the individual division. So you, somebody who has so much experience, this is your fifth consecutive year. Do you think that having that experience does give you more of a competitive edge than some of these what we call young guns?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I wouldn't have said that a couple years ago, but now that I know what I know, it's like when you have gained that experience over years of knowing exactly what to expect, knowing yourself as an athlete, like being prepared for anything at the games, like truly being unfazed when things hit the fan and like things don't go your way during a workout, like those things add up so much over 15 workouts
Mhm.
and that shifts those places on the leaderboard. Like there are so many incredible young athletes coming in and think some of them are going to do really well. I think some of them are going to have the back and forth that I've had the last couple of years where it's like they have a great workout and then they fall off. And the CrossFit Games is so mental. And you don't realize that until you've done it several times and like you've learned to deal with it. So I think the veteran experience, as long as the body's still holding up and the fitness is still there, I think it's hard to compete with the veterans when you don't have that experience yet.
So we don't know yet how many events that we'll see at the games. I guess you can kind of speculate here. I'll pull up the schedule if people, for whatever reason, haven't seen it.
Mhm.
But is there a certain amount of workouts that you would like to see CrossFit programming? Did you think 15 was too much? Yes, last year. Was it just right? What are your thoughts?
I always think more is better. It's just like more opportunity to do good in a workout and to make up for one that maybe isn't great. And just more tests. So, I mean, I think
Mhm.
15 is great. I'd be happy with more than 15, hopefully no less than 15.
Oh, you want to see 20 events?
That would be a lot. That would be a lot. I might be regretting if I said that. Like maybe 17 is fine.
More events, she says. Just keep adding to the list.
Yeah, let's just do like because I feel like we do a lot at the beginning and then as the weekend goes on, it typically tapers down a little bit. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, I wouldn't mind keeping it high.
Okay, so something else that we know is that we're gonna see big lifts on Saturday.
Mhm.
Is there a lift that you're hoping for?
I hope for nothing. I've learned that with the Dave's programming. Like I literally hope for nothing. But you know, I don't know. We snatched last year, so I doubt that we'll do that again. And then we did the clean complex at semis. So I wouldn't
Mhm.
be overly surprised if it's just a max clean and jerk to kind of go off of the
Oh.
complex to just simplify it and be like, we did the max snatch last year. We've done the complex. We did just the clean in 2019. Let's do the clean and jerk this year. If I had to guess, that's what I would guess. I obviously wouldn't be mad about that, but I'm definitely not hoping for it. I think it'd be really fun to do like a deadlift or something different, but I doubt that will happen.
Ooh. So, you kinda mentioned how you don't really hope for anything at the games. You've been working with CompTrain, Ben Bergeron for a while now. Do you think that part of that all comes from, like, the mindset training that you guys do together, or where does that come from? Maybe just experience?
Yeah, I think a little bit of everything. Like you just I feel like I mean, it's like this in life. Like you have expectations of something and then you're going to be let down. Like you don't want that. Like so don't have expectations. Like just go into it and accept everything as it is. That's a very Ben thing. Like, just be there and accept everything as it is. And it really does help. Like take the workouts as they come. Hope that your weaknesses do come up so you have a chance to see where you're at. You work so hard on something all year. You want to do that. Like you don't want
Yeah.
to just hide from it. And you don't want all wheelhouse workouts either because then you're like, you want to prove that you belong because it's a well-rounded, great test. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. A great test of fitness. I don't like all the like super high skill weird stuff. Like I'm a CrossFitter at heart, so I want to do CrossFit and keep it simple. And I think that Boz is going to give that to us. So I am really excited.
So, speaking of being a true CrossFitter, we saw that they are bringing the bikes back at least for the teams.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've implemented into your training that you would like to see for the individuals as well?
Yeah. So I did the crit in
The Trek
2018.
bike, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that was wild to watch.
I did the crit in 2018 and I did not do great in that event. I didn't bike much as a kid. So biking for me has, biking, I would say I'm great at biking on a stationary bike. You give me an assault bike, an echo bike, or
Mhm.
an erg bike, I'm great at it. Moving bikes on the street have been a challenge for me. So we have done it a lot. I was expecting to bike this year. We've been doing it a lot this summer. So I'm assuming that there's no way the teams are doing it and the individuals aren't. So yeah, I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
Ooh, I like hearing that. When we look at something else that has been going on with games announcements, we saw that Noble offered the jerseys where athletes will get compensated for some of the sales. You were an ad to the group.
Mhm.
Fans voted and they said, "We want an Amanda Barnhart jersey." What were your thoughts before you saw your name and then eventually when you were one of the chosen ones?
I was just honored that people wanted my jersey. I know it's probably hard for Noble to pick. Like, it makes sense to me that they cannot make every single person's jersey and sell them just from a financial perspective. I'm sure that doesn't make sense. So I understand that I wasn't chosen originally. I would have liked to, but I think everyone would feel that way.
Sure.
So yeah, just honored that the fans spoke up and that they made my jersey. I actually got notified today that it's online. So it's there if you
Oh,
guys want to
awesome.
go out and get
Congrats.
it.
Woo, we'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Supporting Amanda at the games. And kind of like speaking to that point, I feel like sometimes you're one of those athletes that does get overshadowed. And I'm not really sure why, because this is going to be your fifth consecutive games. You've been in the top 10 several times. Does this like ever affect your mindset? I know we talked a little bit about it and, kind of the Ben Bergeron method and training your mindset, but what are some of your thoughts like around that? Because you are somebody who's at this point a veteran at the games and a top contender.
Mhm. I don't honestly, no, I don't really think about it. Like, I think that sometimes hype is worse than being kind of overshadowed. I feel like the hype adds a lot of stress to people, and I'd prefer not to have that. So I'm cool with the way it is. I know that there are a lot of loyal Amanda Barnhart fans out there, and I appreciate them very much. So yeah, I don't think it's anything I truly think about, and I
Mhm.
don't think it's like on purpose. I'm not like super flashy person or super loud in general. So maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, it's not a big deal.
I mean, I love seeing you on the competition floor. Bring the hype.
Thank you. It is cool when you hear your name announced and you hear people cheer. It's like, wow, those people are cheering for me.
So when you're on the games floor, you still like do hear people cheering, saying your name. It like
um,
I'm always curious if like you almost have blinders on and hear nothing.
the Coliseum, you don't hear anything. You just hear noise. And then you're like lasered in, you hear nothing. But I'm thinking back to like Rogue, where we were like
Ah.
in that baseball stadium, which was super cool.
Mhm.
Like you really heard people yelling for you there. And also I was more laid back at that competition. So I was really trying to soak it in. And I had so much fun like looking around and seeing so many people cheering and waving at me. Like it's really cool to see that kind of support.
What are you most excited for going into the games?
Mm. Most excited. Honestly, just to compete. Like the games is I'm gonna try to soak it in. Like, it goes so fast. Like, you like want it to start and you kind of want it to be over just because like this is such a long season. You're ready for a break. You're nervous. Like, but I really want to soak it in, enjoy it. Like every time on the Coliseum floor, like truly soak in those moments and just give it
Mhm.
my all in every workout. So I'm excited to see the fitness pay off and see the test.
Awesome, Amanda. Thank you so much. We will see you in Madison and good luck at the games.
Thank you so much, Lauren. It's been great talking to you.